Hi, ladies and gents. Welcome to CEO Meets. My name is Wilkins. I'm the Chief Executive at the British Franchise Association, and I'm really pleased to be joined by Graham Duckworth from Driver Hire. Good morning, Graham.
Good morning, Pip. How are you?
Yeah, really good.
Good.
So
Excellent.
First up, you're a mature brand. You've been a member of the BFA for some time. I know what you do, but for the uninitiated, what do Driver Hire do and what does the brand represent?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, in really simple terms, we're a recruitment business. So the name Driver Hire comes from the fact that although we're a recruitment business, the types of people that we typically provide to customers are drivers. Not just drivers, we can provide other types of staff as well, but driving is obviously what we're best known for. So one common misconception is that we provide the vehicles as well. It's not. We're a provider of labour.
Fantastic. So the pandemic obviously hit you in the recruitment sector quite hard. How did you support your franchisees and how did they fare during the pandemic?
Yes, that's a good question. It feels like a lifetime ago already. Yeah, I mean you're right. The initial few weeks as companies closed meant that business levels dropped. In fact, I think it was 7 consecutive weeks where we had decline in revenues, but that was simply a result of pretty much every business closing down. That bottomed out pretty quickly, and week 8 we were starting to grow again. So although it was a fairly hard and sharp decline, it bottomed out pretty quickly. I mean, in terms of support to our franchisees, how we helped to make sure that our offices could continue trading, because all of our franchisees trade from an office. They run a recruitment office, so they had to immediately close. People had to migrate to working from home, so that was the staff in our offices as well as head office staff as well. So things like registering a candidate, which we always do in an office, we like that face-to-face contact. We obviously had to change the process and make that a remote registration, but still have the same quality checks that we have when we do it face-to-face. So checking a license, checking references, etc. So I think that was probably the biggest challenge, because it was so immediate and on such a scale. And our IT team, although we have a lot of staff to support from head office, the size of the IT team compared to the size of the network is quite different. So they obviously had a lot on their hands to make that happen, but they did it really well.
And we've seen some of your high-performing franchisees through our awards programs. They're not small businesses, are they? These guys are running big multi-million-pound businesses now.
That's right. Yeah, our top franchisee last year had a turnover of over £3 million. We've got plenty over £2 million, and 52% of our network last year did over £1 million turnover. So although you can think of it, you imagine a recruitment office being quite small, and that's right. A franchisee might typically employ 2, 3, 4 people. A few more at our very biggest offices, but that's typically the number in an office. They can still run a business that's $1 million, $2 million plus with that level of staff in their office. So relatively small businesses to run, but good financial returns if you do it right.
Absolutely. Now, you've seen some younger franchisees come on board more recently. What are the sort of key attributes you're looking for, and how do you know those guys are going to be successful?
Yeah, well, partly because, you're right. We've got several new and very young, in my eyes, franchisees, talking mid-20s. Some of those had worked in the network for a franchisee in the first place. So it was a step up from, some of them had worked their way from an apprentice to a recruitment consultant to office manager. And then when the franchisee decided to sell, it was the next natural step for them. Even at that young age, they got some funding support and bought the business. So the attributes that they have it could still be an external person that comes to us and with these attributes, but having energy, enthusiasm, they've got to be really good at talking to people, because that's what we are. We're a people business. Talking to drivers, talking to customers, managing a team as well. It takes a certain person to be able to do that, and so some people at a relatively young age, are able to, to handle that. So yeah, I'd say the biggest factor is that they have bags of enthusiasm, but you've obviously got to use it in the right way. It's one thing in being enthusiastic. It's another thing, channeling that correctly.
Absolutely. So you are quite a mature network in the UK. How are you supporting a mature network and really supporting them when they're looking to exit? You mentioned resales just then. What sort of process have you got to support the more mature franchisees?
Yes. Well, ongoing support is, we've got a team of over 70 at head office, and we don't all just stay at head office as well. Some visit a franchisee's office, especially our area manager, that provides hands-on support. So there's lots of ongoing support in terms of practical sales support, a national accounts team, marketing, an IT system, and IT support. So that helps with franchisees' ongoing journey with driver hire. But when the time comes to sell, that's where thankfully I've got a job, because that's what I do. I help franchisees when they feel the time's right, whether that's retirement or they simply just fancy doing something different. Me and a colleague help find suitable buyers, and then really help the buyer and the seller throughout the whole sale process to try and make it as painless as possible. But also a really important role that I play is to make sure that the fit is right, that if somebody comes to driver hire exploring whether we're the right sort of business for them, we're very open and honest, and it's got to be as much right for us as it has for them. So if the fit isn't there, whether it's because the transferable skills aren't quite right, or for whatever reason, we're not just going to take somebody on board just because they've got the money. And that's as much to protect them as it is to protect us.
100%. Now, Graham, I'll ask everyone the same one, and you've just touched a little bit on some tips there. What would be your top tip if someone's looking to invest in a franchise in terms of their due diligence? What should they do?
I mean, for one, I would say, take lots of time. There's loads of information that you can access online, looking at individual franchise businesses. I genuinely say the BFA website is a great place to start, because, you have so many members there that have been assessed, accredited, so that at least people can start at a place where they know there's good, credible brands there. Think about the type of sector that you'd like to work in. Think about the types of things that you'd enjoy. These are even really before you start talking to any franchise companies. Because it's got to be something that you enjoy doing and that your skills fit. Talk already. There's load. You can contact franchise brands. They should be able to send you information. You should be able to engage in conversations with them. Listen to, have video meetings with them. Really learn as much as you possibly can. And then if you shortlist one or two, then you can go into more detail, meet them in person, visit head office, talk to franchisees. That is probably the one biggest tip I would give. You're not going to do that immediately, but if you get a reasonable way down the process, the franchisor should give you access to talk to any franchisee in their network, and that's really where you learn about whether that company is going to be a good fit for you.
And whether it does what it says on the tin.
Exactly. Absolutely. I mean, franchisees are not going to pull any punches. They're not, whether a new franchisee comes on board doesn't directly affect them. So, talk very candidly about the pros and the cons, and what to consider. And as I say, that's where you're going to really learn about what that brand's all about.
Fantastic. Graham, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. It's been really fab to find out more.
Thank you, Pip. No, a pleasure. Absolutely.